I'm really taken aback by this, and I'm trying to, in my head, envision what this looks like aesthetically. She's so thick, and he's so Klay that it ain't making sense in my brain.
All right, Rodney, we had so much stuff happening in the sports world over the weekend. We had the MLB draft. Of course, Summer League is still happening in Vegas. We had Wimbledon. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I wanted to start with love and basketball. Klay Thompson popped out with none other than Meg Thee Stallion. Did you see that?
Hell no, I ain't see that. What algorithm are you in? No. What you talking about?
So Meg Thee Stallion popped out with her typical bathing suit vacation photo on Instagram. And there was a little bitty band in the back. And everybody was like, that looked like Klay. Well, then Klay came out with the post. You only see the back of her head. You know it's Meg. And there's a picture of them holding hands. And her fingernails, those are Meg's fingernails.
Klay?
So he really popped out with Meg Thee Stallion. And from my recollection, I don't remember Klay Thompson ever popping out with anybody. I don't ever remember him dating.
Nah, like he's had some public situations. Really? But okay. they were not Meg Thee Stallion-esque for a number of reasons. I don't think culturally they would have been in alignment with the culture that Meg subscribes to and represents. So I'm really taken aback by this. And I'm trying to, in my head, envision what this looks like aesthetically. And she's so thick and he's so Klay that it ain't making sense in my brain. But I like that for Klay because, Meg does come with some additional fun, some accoutrement, we'll say. And so it's nice because if he's got Meg, that means he probably has Meg plus some.
He gives me like a Russell Wilson vibe. So this is kind of like a Sierra Russ.
No, stop. See, you don't know a killer when you see one. Klay Thompson, as goofy as he is, as like dismissive as he is, Klay Thompson is a killer off the court, just like he is on the court. Yeah, he's a sniper. Don't get it confused because he had that goofy haircut. Have you seen his new hair? He does have like a Houston, Texas haircut going on entering this next season. He has changed his aesthetic. So he might be embracing the black side.
But why did you just shade Russ so bad like that?
Oh, come on. Russ is like Mr. Feeney from Britney Spears. Like, Russ is the black version of that, bro. Like, there's nothing. Listen, he's probably a very moral and principled man, but nah.
But that's what I feel like Klay is. He's not ever in any drama. He doesn't seem to be an H word. He seems to be very wholesome and mature. And I think that this is what Meg needs. Klay, yes.
I ain't gonna talk about what Meg needs. I listen, I'm a man. I'm just gonna talk about it from Klay's perspective, and I want to send out the warning. Meg comes with a lot of stuff, right? There's a lot of baggage that comes when you're dating one of the biggest names in hip hop. Right now, she's currently she has a lawsuit out right now. Somebody is suing her because of some things. They said that she made love to a woman in front of them, and the person did not like that in a vehicle. Yes. But that sounds like everything Klay Thompson needs in his life. So yeah, let's move on because I don't want to go down the rabbit hole.
It was very shocking. I told you when she first posted the video, the picture, and it was like the little guy in the back. Everybody was saying it was Klay. I was like, oh my God, no, it's not Klay Thompson.
I want to see how this affects Klay's game this season. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't, you got to shoot 43% with the hottie sitting courtside from three. Like you gotta do that. Moving on because I can get lost in all of the Meg sauce. I want to talk about Wimbledon that went down. I was locked in, baby. On Sunday, we had Yannick Sinner taking on Carlos Alcaraz. They just played last month in the French Open final. So I was super excited. It was one of the best matches in the history of tennis. So for this, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, it's lit. Like, and it was one of the most boring tennis matches that I've probably watched between two elite tennis players. I don't know what happened to Alcaraz, bro. Like he didn't play with any level of joy or enthusiasm. He was like, he was sad about something. He looked depressed on the court. Yeah, I was disappointed. It was very boring. Yeah. His serve was terrible. He had like 5 or 6 double faults. And Yannick Sinner is great. I know that he's the model of consistency in tennis, but he was actually like pressing up on Alcaraz. He was playing the net. His volley game was on point.
Yeah,
and
he looked. Yeah.
It was
Yeah, Carlos seemed like a shell of himself. Like he didn't seem as aggressive, as powerful. Sinner just took over and he took him out of his game. I don't
Yeah.
know. On the ladies' side, it was
Oh, double bagel.
what happened? What Amanda
Amanda
girl? What happened? Your
Anisimova.
Jersey girl.
Hey, listen, man. There's I don't know. She got her ass whooped. There's really no way. There's really no way around it. A double bagel in the final, which means that, ladies and gentlemen, she did not win one game in either of the two sets that she played. It was an abomination. I think a lot of people felt like that was going to happen. Maybe not like the double bagel, but she was a supreme underdog heading in. And sometimes Rudy is a good story until Rudy goes against a juggernaut and gets his snot box rocked. And that's just what happened to Amanda Anisimova, Jersey's own. But shout out to her, man. She, as an American woman making it to the final of Wimbledon was a big deal. She just didn't have enough in the tank. And so, but I don't want to talk about that so much. I do want to go back to the men's side because I don't know if you've seen the Netflix documentary on Alcaraz, where basically Carlos Alcaraz has to party. He has to have a good time. He has to be with his friends. He has to be celebratory in a way that most successful athletes do not or should not. It's like the antithesis of like the really strict boxer. Like he needs to party and club and go to Ibiza. And I feel like maybe he didn't get a chance to do that this week. And he was being, what's the right word without disrespecting his masculinity? He was being bratty about it. That's what it looked like. Like he wasn't able to hang out with his boys because he had all the obligations of the Wimbledon final. And so he looked like he was just like, I don't want to play tennis. And I feel like that's what happened.
So you don't think that the partying is catching up to him? You thought it was because he didn't get to party at all.
He's 22 years old. He's won 5 majors. Like partying has not taken its toll on him yet. Okay. So that like around 26, around 25, 26, if we start seeing his progress and his momentum slow down, then we can attribute that to maybe being too much of a party animal. But at 22 years old, that boy, he got a lot of left in the tank. I'll say that. I be wanting to say like really like how I talk in the group chat on here, and I'm working my way towards being more comfortable about saying certain things to you, but I also got to recognize the male-female dynamic. And I really feel like I'm doing a good job, but also you're just a phenomenal co-host. I just want to acknowledge that.
Thank you. And so are you.
Yes.
At one point I did think that Carlos like hurt himself a little bit. He kind of slid a little awkwardly, and I don't know if that could have affected his game as well.
He always doing splits out there. He's that agile.
But that wasn't a split though. It was like a
He cool. He just had a really, really bad day. And it wasn't just, his service game was bad. If your service game is bad, that means that something is mentally off. To have 5 or 6 double faults when you're that great of a tennis player is uncommon. That's what I do on a bad day of tennis. So
is that a bad day or a regular day?
The next time you have a hairdo that I have questions about, I'm going to attack you, just so you know. All right, don't talk about my tennis game.
Back to love and basketball. We didn't even talk about Donovan Mitchell and Coco Jones.
Oh, what a beautiful chocolate love story this is. Shout out to Donovan Mitchell, man. He continues to make really good decisions in life. And Coco Jones is a phenomenal investment. She's like the sweetest, most beautiful girl. She is. I don't know if she can cook. I don't know how she is behind closed doors, but I have crossed paths with her and Donovan Mitchell, who's like just a solid dude. And I just feel like this is the kind of woman that you put your eggs in this basket. She is a supremely talented person. She always going to bring in some money. And I feel like she's the kind of person that makes your life better by virtue of just being around. She just has that kind of spirit about her. And this is beautiful for him. I like this. We just got to get him out of Cleveland because Coco not living in Cleveland.
She would live in Cleveland.
No, this is a sign. Donovan Mitchell will leave the Cleveland Cavaliers. You do not marry Coco Jones and live in Cleveland. That is not what you do. So we can look for Donovan Mitchell to end up in either LA or New York. Mark my words.
I do like that they kept it really private. People had like they were speculating that they were dating, but it didn't come out until the engagement. I always liked that.
But now it's fly though. What'd you think about it? What do you think?
I loved it. That's what I'm saying. I thought it was really nice. I'm going to always love black love.
So if she was white, it wouldn't be as much love?
It's just that I don't know if I would care that much about it. But because it's my girl Coco, I'm like, yes. Like, I love her. I love everything. Like, every project she's put out. I love her acting. all the things. And I don't know Donovan that much, but it seems like it fits. It seems like it's a good fit.
Speaking of white love, Amon-Ra St. Brown, his dad was on his podcast this week, and he was talking about what it takes to make an athlete. And he was like, you got that black gold in your body. You can't step on the black gold. You got to reproduce with a black woman, which I disagree with. I think, you know what's crazy? I think the best formula for the black athlete is a big boned white woman. If you have a baby with a big boned white woman, there's something about bigger white women genetically that produces a phenomenal black athlete. And I could go down a list, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm calling anybody's mama fat. But I'll just say, do your Googles and look into who got a big white mama, and you'll be surprised.
So you're going to just bypass all of the people who got big black mamas and black dads.
I'm just telling you what I've observed.
Because they make good athletes too.
I think we should go.
Yeah.
I know our producer Joe is like, what are we talking about right now? So I'm going to wrap this up. We got a lot of things that we could talk about in our comment section, Fumble family. We want to hear your voice on all of them. How do you feel about Coco Jones and our guy, Donovan Mitchell? How do you feel about Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion? And then also, I want to hear your thoughts on the Wimbledon final as well. Were you disappointed in Carlos Alcaraz? Let us know in the comment section.
Yeah, and if you have too much going on in sports to keep up, of course, we got you covered. Subscribe to the newsletter and stay in the loop with everything we are covering. Link is in the description box.